I'm back. I'm back. I got a popsicle to celebrate our big win there. Top tier celebration, yeah. Yeah, I know. I know. I'm watching the first ending from last week. Oh yeah, we should talk about that because it was totally an accident and I feel like it was totally hilarious. I just start shooting and then I got teleported back into the future. Full on Katniss. I was just like, this isn't going how I want it to, and so I just started shooting. What happened? So I made it to the election and I goofed. Like, obviously I still hadn't figured out the election at the start of the stream. And so the current magistrate got reelected and I was like, wait, that's not what I want to happen. So I shot the current magistrate with my bow, and when he dies you create a time paradox that teleports you back to present day. But in that version of the ending, it's the first ending, so it's like the worst ending. In that version of the ending, what ends up happening is you get teleported back and you're talking to Al, but you don't have a way out of the Forgotten City. And so you talk a little bit, you go back and forth, you explain to him what happens, and he finally just goes, so what you're saying is you broke the time loop and now we're both trapped in here forever. And then it just like hard cuts. I don't think he's the one behind it. Yeah, broke the time loop, but not the space loop. Oh, let me grab my water. All right. Let's get back into it. We have more endings we can just like quickly investigate, so I kind of want to start there.
I'm Scintilla. I found a way out through the Gate of Horn, but it's locked. So I told him about it, and instead of
it spits me out back here. Interesting.
He locked me up. He wants to keep us all here forever, or until we're turned to gold. He's a monster. You have to let me go so we can kill him and take his key. I don't know.
Who did this to you?
Cynthia.
Where's the way out?
Behind me. The only problem is
What will you do if I release you?
I'm done caring about the golden rule. I just want out. Help me, and we can escape together.
Okay, so here's what happened. I let you go, and only us got out.
There won't be enough time. Just you and me. What do you say?
What if I round everyone up so they're ready?
There's no time. Wait, now or never.
Everyone else dies if I let you go.
What?
Sorry.
No, you can't just leave me here. How can you be so heartless?
How could you be so heartless? It's too dangerous.
It's no use. You'll never persuade him of anything. I'm telling you.
Listen, I'm not just gonna be stuck in a
monster.
time loop in real life where I just keep doing the same part of the game. I can be fairly persuasive.
You're making a mistake.
Sorry. I'm so sorry. My camera like glitched out there. I couldn't see anything. There we go. Okay. We have other things we can pursue. Like, ooh. Say nothing. Which do we pick? I think, isn't this the oldest one? Isn't this the Sumerian name? Nothing. Osiris. Pluto. Oh, interesting. Ooh, what if I have to call each different name in each different room? Yeah, okay. So this is Hades. Oh, this is kind of cool. And then this will be Osiris. Yeah, the room change hint is very cool. Hey, yo. We're in a spaceship? This is sick. Wait, this is so cool. Are we gonna go talk to Cortana?
And here you are. Allow me to introduce myself. As you have already gathered, I've been known by many names. Nergal to the Sumerians, Osiris to the Egyptians,
Stargate?
Hades to the Greeks, and Pluto to the Romans.
Uh-huh.
But the one constant through it all has been my title, God of the Underworld.
Yes.
And I've been watching you with curiosity, mortal, ever since your arrival. You're unlike the others.
He's kind of hot.
And what is more, you carry a weapon that was never intended for mortals to wield, and you do it so brazenly that there will be time for your reckoning later. First, as a reward for undoing the desecration of my obelisk, I will allow you to satisfy your curiosity. Ask what you will.
What's your story? How do you get out of this place?
My story is many thousands of years long. You will need to be more specific. What do you wish to know?
You're a god?
It is a matter of perspective. God is a label I was given by you mortals, not one I gave myself. Your ancestors revered me because to them, my knowledge and technology made me incomprehensibly powerful, just as you might seem so to an insect. But despite all that, there are rules even I must obey.
Mm-hmm. Why do you look and sound like a man?
My kin and I all adopted this form long ago, so that we might better understand and communicate with your kind. In time, we grew fond of the sensory delights it affords: desire, joy, ecstasy, even rage and sorrow, while an acquired taste can be addictive.
May I see your true form?
No. Long ago, I swore to Proserpina that I would remain in this form for as long as we remained among your kind.
Damn it.
I must honor that.
Fair. Who's the woman on your left?
This is my beloved. Like me, she has been known by many names. Ereshkigal to the Sumerians, Isis to the Egyptians, Persephone to the Greeks, and Proserpina to the Romans.
Proserpina doesn't want to be here,
Perhaps
though.
you might know her as the goddess of springtime, the cycle of life and renewal. Your
Okay.
gaze lingers too long.
You're looking at her too much. Who's on your right?
That is my servant. You would have met by the river, though she wears many faces and goes by many names. Kumutubal to the Sumerians, Kirti to the Egyptians, Charon
Iced,
to the
you're so
Greeks,
funny.
and Charon to the Romans.
My
Her
godliness
role
is up
to
here,
ferry
bud.
souls between the mortal world and this
Karen, why are you doing that with
to
your
make
arms?
the
It's kind of creepy.
transition as seamless as possible. For that, she earned herself the infamous, if erroneous, moniker, the Ferryman. You will talk more later. For now, ask your questions.
Let's talk about something
As
else.
you wish.
What is this
It
place?
has come to be known simply as the Underworld, and it exists because of a wager I made long ago.
Okay. What was the wager you
That
made?
is a long story, one that began over 3,000 years ago and continues to this day.
Yeah, it's
You
super
see,
interwoven. It's
long
kind of
ago,
cool.
My kin and I set out from our home on Elysium to search for other forms of life among the stars. We discovered your planet and witnessed your kind evolving from primates into something lawless and barbaric. You all but destroyed yourselves, your 2 short lives being extinguished by violence and ignorance and disease. Yet Proserpina saw raw potential in you, and persuaded the rest of us it would be squandered without our intervention and stewardship. So we revealed ourselves to your people in a place called Sumer. We
Sumer.
offered guidance in agriculture, toolcraft, and law, and you called us gods. For a time you flourished, but soon you were too many for us to oversee. And as you spread from that cradle of civilization, we saw something disturbing.
What'd you
We
see?
had sown the seeds of dependency and confusion, and soon you returned to your old ways of violence and ignorance, this time in our name. My kin had seen enough and gave up on your kind, condemning you as barbaric and chaotic, scarcely more than animals. We began preparations to return to Elysium, our home world, a utopia unspoilt by conflict
Unspoilt.
and unimaginable in its beauty. But my Proserpina could not bear to abandon your kind without
Coon.
guidance, and knowing it would force the rest of us to leave her behind, she made an extraordinary sacrifice. She gave up her immortality to descend permanently to the ranks of humankind. And so she began her inescapable trajectory toward death. Horrified, I acted swiftly. I placed her in suspended animation in a deep frozen sleep to prevent age and sickness from claiming
So that's why
her.
she's...
And then I pleaded with Proserpina's father, who the Romans called Jupiter, to bring her with us to Elysium. It was and is my hope that once there, we might one day learn to undo what she has done to herself. But he refused. I did everything I could to persuade him, but he would not relent. He would rigidly uphold his final pronouncement. Humans were unworthy of ascension to Elysium, and no exceptions would be made.
Dang.
But seeing that I was aggrieved, he proposed a wager, the terms of which were as follows. If even one human city could prove itself capable of living without sin for a single year, then Proserpina and all of humanity would be permitted to join us in Elysium. My
Whoa.
part would be to remain behind, the last of my kind, to watch over
Good place.
without interfering, and to sit in silent judgment. And so my reward has been to languish here, enduring a 3,000-year winter, waiting for the day your kind proves itself worthy of her faith in me.
I'm trying,
that I might
man.
Take her with me to Elysium and unthaw my goddess of springtime. And here I am, after all this time, still waiting.
That's like the whole crux of the game, Reyna, is like, whose definition of sin? Who are your kin?
There were also gods who, like me, have been known by many names, but perhaps you knew them by their Roman names. Our leader, Jupiter, as well as Neptune, Saturn, Juno, Minerva, Mars, Venus, Apollo, Diana, Vulcan, Vesta, Ceres, and of course, my beloved Proserpina.
Who built the city?
As the first wave of your kind arrived from Sumer, I had them build a city in their own fashion, so that they might be comfortable and recreate their lives here. I had them build the entrance as a vertical shaft leading to baths, to cleanse them of the sins of their former lives, and to prevent escape. I watched wave after wave of Sumerians arrive, and as their civilization declined over the centuries,
What's
they
up,
were
Ken?
replaced by Egyptians. Of course, believing themselves to be the superior civilization, the Egyptians promptly built over what had been built before, and made all the same mistakes. After another 1,000 years, the Greeks began to arrive, and then the Romans, and they all did the same thing. They built upon the underworlds of their predecessors, renamed their gods, and ensured their foundations were forgotten.
How do you decide who comes
To
here?
ensure the wage was fair, it was important that my subjects were chosen.
Ah, the
randomly.
obols.
To this end, I had my servant distribute 1,000 tokens fashioned from silver, a rare element at the time, across all of Sumer. Whoever died while in possession of one of them would be located by my servant and ferried to this place, with no memory of how they arrived. As the tokens were discovered, they were traded, smelted, and fashioned into trinkets, and eventually coins, spreading to Egypt like seeds on the wind. Later, when they spread to Greece, they would come to be known as Charon's obol, or as coins for the
Toss a
ferry.
coin to your
Some placed
ferryman.
coins in the mouths of their dead, hoping they would awaken here, though they had no way of knowing which coins were fashioned from the original tokens. In fact, almost all of the tokens are accounted for, only 2 remain. And so after this wave destroys itself, as it is destined to do, your kind will have squandered the last of its potential to ascend beyond this rock and Persephone.
That's got to be the 4th ending, right? How did humans learn about the underworld?
It is a regrettable story. One of the first men who came to this place was a king of Sumer and a troublemaker. To be rid of him, I returned him to his people, on the condition that my servant erased his memories of this place. But the erasure did not take completely, and he told stories of this place as if describing memories of a dream. His tales were committed to writing, which came to be known as the Epic of Gilgamesh, and his words were twisted and distorted over generations. Later, the
Sushi and red
Egyptians
pandas,
would
all kinds of
adapt the
shit.
stories of the underworld, making them wildly intricate and labyrinthine. Their Book of the Dead and Book of Gates bore less and less resemblance to this place in their priests' pursuit of profit. Then, when the Greeks began to arrive, they proved far more cunning, and in a series of incidents that will not be repeated, 5 of them escaped. A warrior named Heracles, 2 kings named Sisyphus and Theseus, a poet named Orpheus, and a Trojan named Aeneas. They each told embellished tales of this place, how to get here, and how to escape. And so from Sumer to Egypt, Greece to Rome, your kind has always told each other stories about this place, though each story contained only a seed of truth.
Let's talk about something else.
Of course.
Are you responsible for the Golden Rule?
That is merely the name your people have given to it, but yes, it is my doing.
Why turn people into gold?
That is a story dating back to the very first wave. After the Sumerians finished building their city, the self-declared ruler threw a banquet to celebrate.
Ooh, I don't know.
Now,
How can...
this man was unmarried, and many women were vying to become his wife, a prestigious position of power and influence in a new world. Of all the women, 2 were particularly ambitious. Both were beautiful, and both arrived at the banquet wearing eye-catching dresses and painted faces, their hair woven in elaborate fashion. The first woman, recognizing that she would require an advantage to win the ruler's affection, draped herself in jewelry, ornate necklaces, bracelets, and rings fashioned from gold. Seeing this ostentatious display, the
Ostentatious,
second
great
woman
word.
grew envious, for she had no such jewelry at her disposal. She prayed aloud to any gods that would listen to cover her in gold. And when her prayer went unanswered, she
The
took
music is kind of a
matters
lot.
into her own hands. While the others indulged at the banquet, the second woman summoned the first for a discussion in a quiet place. She checked that nobody was watching and pushed her rival from the top of the ziggurat, where she broke her neck on the rocks below. But
Yeah, that's
I
fucked
was
up.
watching, and I decided to answer her prayer. I took the golden bow left behind by Diana, and I shot that woman in the heart, covering her from head to toe in a layer of molten gold.
Molten gold?
And I left her to stand there, that she might serve as a grim reminder of what befalls those who sin in my domain.
Dang.
But that was not enough, for the entire city was tainted by her sin, and the wager could no longer be won. So I had no choice but to wipe the slate clean. I gilded them all to make way for a new
Playing all the hits, aren't we, Hades?
began the wager again. And to this day, each of them, and all who came after, line the halls of this city, inanimate but conscious, suspended in time with only their sight and hearing preserved, so they may bear witness to and lament the folly of your kind for eternity, as silent golden sentinels.
So you're responsible for destroying all these lives.
I give your kind a second chance at life, as well as ample warning about my law. And when you disobey, and you always disobey, you force my hand, bringing terrible suffering upon yourselves. And so you ask if I am the one destroying your lives. And I say, no, you destroy yourselves. I am merely the means by which you do it.
Sure thing, buddy. Where did these golden bows come from?
When my kin departed, they left behind many relics, which I inherited. Consolation.
Can I turn him into gold? I want to turn him into
The
gold.
golden bow originally belonged to one of my kin, who the Romans called Diana. As my collection of golden statues grew, I chose the most ferocious among them, and equipped them each with a duplicate of her bow, and tasked them with hunting down the Forsaken at my behest. They became known simply as Furies.
Okay, what do you consider a sin?
I've always considered that the cornerstone of morality is the ability to determine right from wrong on one's own.
So how do you... What?
No attempt to lay out rules like your Code of Hammurabi or your 12 Tables of the Roman Republic can ever cover all possible scenarios. This should come as no surprise to you, since the core principle has been expressed in many forms by many of your civilizations. The Egyptians made a rudimentary attempt with do to the doer to make him do. The Greeks refined it with avoid doing what you would blame others for doing. The Roman Stoics added, treat your inferior as you would wish your superior to treat you. Even the so-called cultists hiding among you often say, do unto others as you would have them do unto you.
That's true.
It is the simplest of concepts, and each one of you is born with the faculties required to apply it to any situation. Yet none of the peoples who expressed this rule were able to uphold it. Curious, is it not?
It doesn't seem like you've been upholding it either.
Enough. You clearly know nothing.
How do you know when people sin?
I am able to commune with all of the statues in the city.
I knew the answer to this one,
Their
but
ears are my ears, and their eyes are my eyes.
you need to hear it all. Is Proserpina connected to the statues in the same way?
If she was still conscious, I suppose she could, but she's not. Why do you ask?
No reason.
Then what an odd question.
Then what an odd question. Oh my god, I've seen some terrible things here that you don't consider a sin. How could you let them
Do you
happen?
plan to speak in sweeping generalizations, or are you going to give me an example?
Suicide.
I have seen no such thing, but in any case, taking one's own life is a self-directed act. It is not one that is done to others, however they may be affected by it. Therefore, it cannot be said that one who commits suicide has done anything unto others.
Interesting. That seems like a very literal interpretation of the rule.
Applying this rule always requires us to interpret the meaning.
This section's gonna be fun.
Literal
Yeah, right.
interpretation helps to minimize the ambiguity.
I feel like we're gonna be really mad. Madder than we already are. If our language is full of ambiguity, doesn't that make the rule inherently subjective and unreliable?
Supposing you're right, then my law has been broken, and I should turn you all to gold immediately. Is that what you want?
I really want to push it, but I also don't want to get turned into gold. No, never mind.
Now tell me, what other sins do you believe I have overlooked?
It's price gouging for life-saving
The
medicine.
merchant. How is that inconsistent with the rule I've outlined?
He wouldn't want someone else to demand an outrageous price for the medicine he needed if he was dying.
I disagree. Having watched this merchant, that is precisely what he would expect from others, and he would be quite
brother.
capable of paying the price anyway.
Now Hades is a fucking capitalist too. You can't know what he would expect. You're just speculating.
Applying this rule always requires speculation to some degree. It requires us to ask what another person would want if they found themselves in another situation.
Doesn't that make it inherently subjective and
Not if we're
unreliable?
wise enough to know the mind of man.
And you think you know the minds of other people?
Supposing you're right,
Okay, so we're just
my
gonna get to
law's
this
been
every
broken.
time. He's just gonna be
I
like, I'm
should
just gonna turn everybody to gold.
immediately. Is that what you want?
No.
Now tell me, what other sins do you believe I have overlooked?
Scam.
Ah, the tavern keeper, yes. How is that inconsistent with the rule?
She wouldn't want someone else to sell her hemlock if she thought she was buying a means of
I
escape.
disagree. Having watched that tavern keeper, that is precisely
Tell him you're right.
what she
All
would
right,
expect
fine.
from others. She would view it as a game, one she intends to win.
You're just speculating.
Applying this rule always requires speculation.
Doesn't that make it
Not if we're
unreliable?
wise.
And you think you know? I'm right and you
When
know
your
it.
desire to be right outweighs your desire to survive.
Oh,
you
my
will
camera
make a
froze.
fine statue.
My camera froze. My camera froze. Alright, let me sit up. Gotta get my hands on the keyboard. Enough talk, I'm gonna end this. Definitely the golden bow, right?
Do you really think you can wound me, a god, with that primitive weapon?
You may be immortal, but your beloved isn't.
How dare you threaten her? This ends now. The many shall suffer for the sins of the
Take her
one.
crown.
You will suffer eternal torments.
Oh, I have to rewind time. That's disappointing. I might die here. There was more to talk. I feel like I should have waited. Karen's still T-posing like a champ. Oh, I missed it. You can't hit me. Ha ha ha. Yeah, but did you want to listen? The completionist in me would like to know everything. I'm not gonna lie. So I kind of want to go back. I feel like there was more lore to get. You know? Wow, I came back with low health. That's kind of messed up. I need to get everyone except Sentius. Yeah, I mean, I agree that in that specific section there was just like more of the like back and forth, but I feel like there were more options in a previous dialogue box. So we're gonna do this.
All right.
Just to have him doing stuff, just in case we need to do something different. And we're gonna come up here. Oh, I should be going this way, huh? This way is much more direct. I can zipline there and zipline the other spot and I'm at the loop. Okay. Duly noted. Okay. That or he'll be pissed and he'll be like, how dare you come back here? Oh, is it Pluto? That's right. And then Hades. And then Osiris. That's so interesting.
And what did they prefer?
Okay.
That is mere. Do you plan? Very well.
Okay, so I did have them all.
Very well. I would recognize that anywhere. And yet my beloved still wears hers. What is this? How did you come by it?
I took it from her after I killed her in another timeline.
You vile, despicable creature. Why would you do such a thing? And worse still, boast about it.
Oh. I could do this all day. End the golden rule or I will.
You have put me in an impossible position.
Yay.
If I refuse, you will murder her. And yet, if I agree, I will lose my wager and return to Elysium humiliated.
I don't think he knows about the time loop, Mocho. Well, what's it gonna be?
I do not see that I have a choice in this. Your treachery and savagery have opened my eyes like nothing I've witnessed in 3,000 years. And now you have shown me your species' true colors. And I see that Persephone was a fool to have ever believed in you at all. This has gone on too long. It is time for me to let go of this form, of all of you. But know this, if I abandon the wager and leave for Elysium, neither she nor your kind may ever ascend.
A new bad ending? We just want to return to the world.
Very well. I will have Charon make arrangements to ferry the others. But as for you, be aware you will be separated from the rest.
Why?
Once this exodus begins, the events that brought you to this moment will never have taken place.
He plays the golden rule with might makes right. Yeah, exactly.
What will become of you is difficult to predict, but that is the risk you have taken by interfering in the natural flow of time. Now, are you ready?
I'm ready.
You had best pray our paths never cross again, mortal.
Not afraid of you. Something tells me we're gonna be trapped again.
Oh. Hi there. Gave me a bit of a fright. Thought I was in here alone. I'm Al.
Hi, Al. I came in here to find you.
Well, here I am. I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name.
I'm Nico.
Oh, did that lady in the forest send you in here after me? I guess I lost track of time, learning about the history of this place, and it is extraordinary. I'm fairly certain you and I are the first people to set foot in this city for about 2,000 years. Fortunately for us, the last person in here was a Roman man named Galerius, who inscribed an account into a tablet. Apparently, there was a community of 20-something people trapped in here, and living in fear of a curse they called the Golden Rule.
Cool.
They believed that if even one person sinned, an unknown god would cast them all into gold, like the 1,000 people who'd lived here before them. Then, one day, just as Galerius had finished praying for a good harvest at the shrine of Proserpina, an oracle appeared and told him how to solve the ills of the city, like saving the life of a dying woman, foiling an assassination attempt.
I told him those things.
Meanwhile, the oracle walked up to the temple of the mysterious god, this one right here, and demanded an audience.
I love the
Doors
retelling.
just opened up to him. Nobody knows what went on in there, but Galerius wrote the oracle must have been more persuasive than Odysseus, because the next thing he knew, the ground shook and the voice of that god rang out over the city. The many have suffered long enough. Unfortunately, Galerius' account just sort of stops after that, leaving a lot of questions unanswered. What became of him and the other people who lived here? What happened to all the golden statues? And did this mysterious oracle single-handedly undo the curse that had terrorized people for hundreds of years?
That was me.
What?
I love the way he
I
says
see.
that.
For a moment there, I thought you were serious. Anyway, I think I found a way out through the aqueduct that brought water into the city. Follow me.
Oh, what? Get tired. God is dead. Wired. God took his ball and went home. Real.
I'm gonna pause here for a moment and make sure nobody else has ever lured into this temple.
Good idea.
You go on ahead, and I'll be there soon.
Thanks. I'll do that. God's mom told him he has to go home for dinner now. Hi.
You're back. But you're alone. Does that mean you didn't find Al?
I found him. He'll be here in a moment.
What a relief. Thank you so much. I was beginning to think you'd both become trapped in there. Why don't you tell me what you discovered while we wait?
I remember meeting you 2,000 years ago.
Ah, I see. I thought you might. Well, now you know. I suppose
God
you
got
have
divorced.
questions.
Who are you really?
You can just call me Charon, if you like. I am sorry I was not completely honest.
Is this just going to be the same dialogue we've already heard?
I do not enjoy deceiving people. Believe me, I do not. But I have learned, from 5,000 years of experience, that most people find comfort in familiarity, in gradual change, and coming to see the truth in their own time.
What truth is
You
that?
died, of course. You were dead when I brought
Oh,
you.
I'm in the wrong scene. Oh
My
well.
role, as the servant of the god of the underworld, has always been.
Okay. Who are you really?
You can just call me Charon, if you. I do not enjoy that.
What? Okay, this is. How did I die?
Most soul. Ask yourself
I suppose
a
not.
wise decision.
Pluto said the coins and Al. Pluto said the coins Al and I had were the last in existence.
It means I am now bereft of purpose. There is nobody else to ferry here. Nobody
Just a
to
page
keep
shuttle
you
gun.
company.
Yeah, you can pick different characters at the
After
start.
5,000 years, the underworld.
Can you return us to the land of the
I see
living?
no point in keeping you here. But I have to ask one thing. That you keep this to yourself.
Look! Here comes
This is
Al
going to be
now.
the third ending, I
Al.
think.
It's so good to see you.
I think this is a
You were
version of
gone
the
so
third
long, I thought I'd
ending.
never see you again.
Kinda lost track of time in there. And there was a tablet.
Sounds like quite a story. And you two look exhausted.
Sounds good to me.
And you? Are you ready to go home?
Ferry us home. One year later. Oh. Oh? Al?
Hey, you made it. It's great to see you again. I read about your trial in the news. Congratulations on your acquittal. Still, I'm sorry you had to go through all that. Anyway,
Oh, we
after
got
everything
acquitted.
you've been through, I thought you might appreciate some good news.
Maybe this is the fourth
So after we
ending.
got back to the real world, I started doing some research into the people mentioned in Galerius's tablet, and I found something strange. I'm sorry I've been so cryptic. I've been dying to tell you. I just really wanted you to see this for yourself. Why don't you head on down there? I'll catch up with you at the other end.
Oh. The rewind button. An ancient Roman statue of an unknown man in an inscrutable pose. One hand seems to welcome and the other warns. Okay, so this is all the stuff. Oh no, did they British Museum the Forgotten City?
Oh, hello.
Oh!
You're finally here. Remember me? It's a crazy story. After you disappeared, Charon appeared and told us she was returning us to the world. Even gave us some coins to help us start our lives over. Only, for some reason, she returned us to your world instead of ours. Anyway, I know we only ever had that one conversation, and I wasn't even sure if you'd remember me, but I wanted to say thanks for freeing us from the underworld and giving us a second chance.
This isn't the British Museum, this is Night at the Museum. Oh my god, what are you doing with
I
yourself?
used Charon's gift to buy a farm in Umbria. Got a villa on it too, with enough room for Dooley, of course.
You brought
It's hard work,
Dooley.
but I sleep soundly every night. I'm finally my own man, and I wouldn't change it for the world.
You're with Aquisha now?
I know. I can't believe my luck either. But we're engaged and living together. We're planning to get married next spring.
Nice of
If you're
Karen
gonna
to
be
teach you
around,
English.
We'd love to see you there.
I wonder if he's had a Sprite. I'd love that. Oh, it was good seeing
Of course,
you.
there's a whole museum full of people waiting for a chance to thank you. So you better keep moving. We'll speak again soon, my friend.
This is wild.
You're here. It's lovely to finally meet you. Galerius.
I
told
do
me
wish
all
that these
about
people
you.
knew about all the conversations that I've had with them.
So, you're the hero who somehow vanquished the last of the Roman gods. As I'm a priestess, you realize you've put me out of work.
Well, that's just
I'm
too
just
bad.
teasing. Actually, and it still feels a little sacrilegious to say this, I'm finding life after religion quite enjoyable.
Scandalous.
Galerius and I are engaged and expecting. We've just bought a lovely villa in the countryside with room for a large family. And Dooley too, of course.
Shoutouts to
Feels like
Dulius.
the world has just opened up for us. There's so much to learn and so many more possibilities.
Someone
for our
taught her about a
children than
smoky
we
eye.
ever imagined. We're just so thankful for what you did for us. For all of us.
How's Livia?
Oh, it's sweet of you to ask. She recovered nicely. In fact, she's here somewhere, if you'd like to ask her yourself.
I'll do that. It was good seeing you.
See you at the wedding, I hope.
Dooley!
Hello, I'm Dooley.
My man! I remember you.
Galerius said you're very nice and a big helper. Thank you for getting us out of the bad place. I didn't like it.
What are you doing these days?
I live at Galerius and
The Dulster.
Ectius' house. They look after me now and help me remember when I forget things, like brushing my teeth.
Yeah, that's real. That's very real. I'm sorry you never found your treasure.
Treasure? Oh, I forgot about that. I like my box now. Galerius got me a box that tells stories.
Is it gonna be a cell phone?
It's my favourite thing.
I'm glad you're happy. Story boxes are great, aren't they?
Yeah, they're fun.
It was good seeing you.
Bye-bye.
Also, I'm not a himbo. How dare you?
Hi there.
Oh,
You're-
TV probably.
You're the Oracle, right?
Nico's good.
Oh, of course. Sorry. And I never got a chance to thank you for telling Galerius how to save my
Drop a
life.
poll in chat right now.
And of course, getting me and all of us out of a terrible situation.
I'll let the people decide. What are you doing with yourself these days?
Oh, I barely recognize myself. I'm living in a house share in London with my wonderful girlfriend. And I'm studying English at university.
Aw.
Eventually, I want to travel the world and write about it. Turns out, it's about
Queers!
30 times bigger than the Roman Empire ever was. Did you know there are entire continents Rome never knew existed?
I did know
And you
that.
can travel almost anywhere in an aircraft, which is rather like flying on a Pegasus, but much more comfortable. Oh, sorry, you already know all that, of course. I'm just so excited. There's so much to see and learn and write about.
I can't wait to see how stoked Octavia is going to be with the whole Vatican situation. I'm very glad you're happy.
I really am.
What happened to Malleolus and Claudia?
Last I heard, Malleolus kept insisting he was the last rightful ruler of the Roman Empire, and wound up being committed to a psychiatric hospital.
Aw, I hope
As
he
for
feels better.
Claudia, she was always so viciously unhappy. Someone said she'd blown all her money on wine, trying to drink herself back to the underworld.
Well, that's just
After
fucking
the
depressing.
horrific way they treated Ulpius and me, I can't help feeling a sense of... what's that German word? Schadenfreude?
I think you're allowed to feel that way.
Thank you. You're very kind.
There were Pegasus? Yeah, we didn't get to see him. What happened to Aurelia?
Ugh. Someone told me she was boasting about getting her claws into some rich prince, and how she was going to be living the high life from now on. Even in your time, life still isn't fair. Apparently, he'd proposed before they'd even met. And last I heard, she'd bought herself a first-class one-way ticket to join him in some exotic place called... what was it?
Waiting for Vegas.
Nigeria?
Oh.
Some people have all the luck.
Is the implication... Yeah, the implication is that she got scammed. Something tells me she's going to get what she deserves.
You are the Oracle, so I suppose I'll take your word for it.
That's
I
messed
feel
up.
better already. Thank you.
Wow. It was good to see
too.
you.
If you're ever in London, let me know. We can go to bars and drink wine and listen to the stories of the 9 million people who live there.
I'll take you up on that.
I hope so.
Hi there.
Hello, Lucretia.
You are here. It's nice to finally meet you.
Mm-hmm. Hey.
Lucy is fine. I'm making an effort to blend in, as you can see. We are all trying to keep a low profile. If the world knew we died 2,000 years ago and were suddenly brought back to life 12 months ago, they'd never leave us alone.
I don't think they would believe you.
Speaking of which, I wanted to say thank you in person. I'd say the gods smile on you, but I hear you drove the last of them off. So...
The gods are dead. What are you doing with yourself these days?
I'm studying to get into medical school. As much as I resented the responsibility of keeping everyone in the city alive, when it ended, I realized I missed it.
What's up,
So
Elf?
I guess I'll just keep saving the world, if begrudgingly, one patient at a time.
Yo, Elf, thank you so much for the 45 months. It's good to see you. We are at the very end of this game. You've been warned. It was good to see you, Lucy.
You too. Don't be a stranger.
I won't.
Hey.
Evening.
Whoa, Horatius. Okay.
Hi
I'm
there,
going to bed
Horatius.
anyways. Hi, Horatius.
I understand we have you to thank for giving us a second chance at life. And reuniting Centilla with us as well. So, thank you.
Horace the army man. What are you doing with yourself these days?
I'm living up north and studying in the military academy in Modena. I'm going to be an officer one day. The world's changed a lot. But some things stay the same. Would you believe we're still studying military tactics from my time? Alexander the Great, Caesar, Hannibal Barca. Still, I have to keep challenging myself to let go of old ways of thinking and embrace the new. As Seneca wrote, the ones who pioneered our paths aren't our masters, but our guides.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry you never got to see your girl again.
Ah, you remembered that. Thank you. I grieved for a time, but that's done. In the words of Epictetus, as those who rode behind triumphant generals remind them they are mortal, remind yourself your precious one isn't one of your possessions, but something given for now, not forever.
Well said.
Thanks.
Whatever happened to your buddy Domitius?
He's not my... Oh, I see what you did there. Good one. He had more trouble adapting than most. He got himself disqualified from the UFC.
Disqualified
So
from
he
the
started
UFC?
some kind of underground blood sport tournament, like we had in Rome. Suppose it appealed to people's baser instincts. And they say he made some good coin, killing a bunch of men like that. But his luck finally ran out. And his life along with it. You know what they say.
Damn.
Live by the sword, die by the sword.
That's a shame.
Perhaps.
It was good to see you.
And you. Farewell.
That's so weird that Horatius... Isn't Horatius looking at his own stuff right now? Interesting. Alright, let's keep going.
I take it you're the Oracle. Thanks for coming.
This kind of makes me wish that I would have like ran around and talked to everybody before we did this. I wonder if they would all like have different dialogue.
Actually, I changed my name to Cynthia. I didn't want to be associated with Sentius after what happened.
That's fair.
I'm not sure if you heard, but after you drove Pluto off, Proserpina emerged from the Great Temple. She knew right away what none of us had figured out about that psychopath. He'd been keeping my little sister locked up in the upper cistern all that time. But he's been dealt with. He's... you know what? The important thing is, we'll never see him again.
Wonder if the other ending involves this scene too. I guess we'll find out. What are you doing with yourself these days?
Anything I want. I'm a woman of
Anything I
means
want.
in a vast new world. I can go wherever
Can
and do
Proserpina
whatever
hook
I
me up?
please.
Or Karen?
Of course, I mostly just stay in my villa and have my servant Alexa summon things for me.
Alexa!
Because it's just awful out there. Barbarians everywhere.
Not Alexa. What happened to Sentius?
He's still there, all alone. The last golden statue in the underworld. Trapped in a metal shell, slowly losing his mind
That's
until
pain.
the end of time. Eternal torment. Just what he deserves, if you ask me.
That's rough. That seems a bit excessive, don't you think?
I try not to think about him at all.
Fair. It was good to see
You
you.
too. See you around.
I need to stop clicking things as I say them because then we're talking over each other. Yeah, she said, fuck you. Honestly, fair, given what he did.
Hello. Magnificent museum.
Hi, Georges. I like your suit.
Greetings. You must be the legendary Oracle. It is a sincere privilege to finally make your acquaintance. I am Georgius.
Good to see you.
I am told we have you to thank for freeing us from Hades, and for that, I am most grateful.
What are you doing with yourself these days?
I am reacquainting myself with Greece. It has changed so much over the last 2,000 years, I barely recognize it. This is at once heartbreaking and thrilling. Perhaps one day, once I have seen all of this new Greece and sampled her delights, I will settle down in Santorini in a villa overlooking the Azure Aegean Sea. I hope you will join me there and regale me with the story of how you faced off against the fearsome god of the underworld and won.
Consider me there. It was good to see you.
You too, my friend.
You're the one we've been waiting for. I'm Fabia.
Hello.
I wanted to say thanks for sending Galerius to save my life. I don't know how you knew, but I would have been crushed by that shrine for sure.
It's kind of interesting to think about how long ago that was.
I'm just so happy to be here.
I think that was my first cycle that I ran into her.
Everyone together again, even if it's just for one more night.
What are you doing with yourself these days?
Well, it's not like I have to work with all the silver Charon gave me, so...
Damn it.
I just
Karen, can I get some silver?
Mostly that means baking for my friends and looking at memes while binging TV shows in yoga pants. What a time to be alive.
What the hell, dude? I'm glad you're happy.
Thank you. I really am.
See, kids, money can buy happiness. Just kidding.
You too.
Greetings.
I was hoping this guy would be here.
I take it you're the Oracle everybody's talking about. It's a pleasure to finally meet you.
We've met before, though. I wouldn't expect you to remember it.
We have. I'm sorry, I don't remember. In any case, I'm Philip. I never thought I'd leave that cave, let alone the city. And now I'm living in the 21st century.
Are they all just gonna say what a time to be alive?
To be alive. And it seems I have your Catabasis to thank for it.
What are you doing with yourself?
I'm working as a consultant to the Faculty of Classics at Cambridge University, helping fill the odd gap in their knowledge. Not that I need the money, but I do love being around enlightened minds again.
Fair. It was good to see you.
My sincere thanks once again.
Some soiree, innit?
Fucking Decius.
Good evening.
Hello there. Oh, hello. It's lovely to meet you. I've heard so much about you.
Nice to see you.
I'm thankful that you're here. I was sure the person who drove off the last pagan god would have more important things to do than visit the likes of us. But thank you for coming and for saving our lives. What you did was extraordinary, and I'll never forget it.
You're welcome. What are you doing these days?
I'm living in Rome again, in a charming little flat by the Tiber. Not far from my old place. Oh, and I'm training to be a crisis counselor.
That's
After
cool.
you sent Galerius to persuade Ulpius not to take his own life, I was inspired.
Oh yeah,
I
is
just
she
want to
excited about the
spend
Vatican?
rest of my life helping people, like you helped him.
Sounds like a noble cause.
Thank you. That means a lot.
It was good to see you.
And you. Oh, and I hope this isn't too forward, but some of us are going out for a drink after this, if you'd...
Some of us?
Like to join us?
Sounds good, I'm in.
Wonderful. I'll see you soon.
God, I'm so popular.
Greetings.
Good to see you and looking well, Livia.
Thank you for your kind words and for liberating us all. In all the time I was in the underworld, I never once imagined that I might end up in a place
Drinking Bible study.
so much like Elysium.
What are you doing with yourself these days?
I'm recovering. Octavia was kind enough to let me stay with her for a while.
Oh, that's nice.
At least until I'm well enough to be independent again.
Read any good poems lately?
Ah, you remember that. I'm a little tired of Ovid, but that's all right. I have 2,000 years worth of poetry to catch up on now.
Fair.
I'm already up to the 19th century, and am quite enjoying the work of a fellow named Poe. I think I may have found a kindred spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Men have called me mad, but the question is not yet settled whether madness is or is not the loftiest intelligence.
Perhaps you're right. It was good to see you.
And you. Farewell, friend.
God, this is the longest ending to a video game. There's like at least 4 more people. Oh my god.
Oh, hello at last. You must be the Oracle I've heard so much about. I'm Dacius.
Fuck you.
Listen, I wanted to express my sincere appreciation for what you did. If it wasn't for you, I'd never been able to sell all those useless old relics I accumulated.
Oh, brother.
Whatever you did in that temple made me a very wealthy man. Thank you.
No need to thank me. It was entirely unintended.
Such acerbic wit. I love it.
What are you doing these days?
I took the money I made from selling my trinkets and started investing in the stock market. That's where the real money is now.
Oh, brother.
In fact, I was hoping to ask your advice, you being the Oracle and future seer and all that, on which stocks I should invest in next.
Please give me
decide
funny
between fossil
responses.
fuels, tobacco, gambling and arms. What would you recommend?
I hope you invested in Bed Bath & Beyond and GameStop. But like early GameStop, not like 2020 GameStop, you know? I'm not gonna be mean to him. I don't know.
Oh, don't be like that. You can tell your old pal Dacius. I won't take no for an answer.
Oh, let's go. The fucking Blockbuster call out.
Oh, of course, yeah. I was just thinking the same thing. I'll go home and buy up as much stock as I can tonight. I'm gonna make a
Toys
bloody
R Us.
fortune.
Yeah, he's an NFT bro in the making for sure. Okay, bye.
Of course, don't let me keep you. Thanks again for the tips, my friend.
Incredible. Hey.
It is an honor to finally meet you, Oracle.
Thanks.
You know my name?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, of course. You are an Oracle. You know many things.
My boy!
I too would like to offer my thanks for releasing us from that place. And for your
I'm glad they
role
didn't forget
in
about
bringing
you.
us here. This world is truly wondrous.
What are you doing these days?
For a time, I returned to Alexandria, but they have no need of another fisherman, and I came to see there is nothing for me there. Instead, I have decided to follow the custom of your youths and backpack the world. It is a great adventure, and I have met many people from many cultures. I spent the first 25 years of my life avoiding the 42 sins that would deny me access to the afterlife. Now, I think it is time I had some
This man said, fuck religion. Sounds like you've earned it.
Indeed.
It was good to see you.
Thank you, Oracle.
Hello there.
Hi, Scintilla.
Oh, I go by Gabriella now. I didn't want to be reminded of that monster every time I heard my own name.
Backpack.
After you drove Pluto off, Proserpina came and released me, and that monster got what was coming to him.
I'm sorry, I had no idea.
Don't worry. Nobody did.
I did actually know. I don't know why I said that. What are you doing these days?
I'm living with Ulpius on a little vineyard in Umbria. It's even more wonderful than I dreamed it would be. I'm so grateful to you for making sure he's still with us. If you're ever passing through the region, I hope you'll come and visit us. You can try some of our very own wine.
I might just do that. It was good to see ya.
Thanks. You too.
Hello.
Oh.
Nice to meet you.
No fucking way, dude. Good to see you too, Rufius.
I go by Rufus now. New start, new name. Oh, and thanks, by the way. Telling Galerius how to treat my rheumatism. I probably would have lost my mind if it wasn't for that willow bark.
Incredible.
Although I think your people have a different name for it. Aspirin, I believe. Thank you.
Why does he sound so much raspier in the modern day?
I'm no good with the mushy stuff.
What are you doing these days?
I live with Virgil in Rotterdam, not far from where he grew up. It's very modern.
Modern? Sounds pretty...
Destroyed in the war.
Yay!
It rebuilt itself.
Good for you.
Good place for a fresh start. Haven't decided what I'm going to do with my life yet. One adjustment at a time.
I think that's fair. Turns out you were right. The statues really were watching us.
Huh. Good to know. Anyway, it was good practice for the new world.
True.
Security cameras and smartphones everywhere. Got to stay vigilant.
That is unfortunately true. It was good to see you again.
You too. Look us up next time you're in the Netherlands. We're grateful.
The Greeks and Romans were gay.
It's so nice to finally meet you. I've heard so much about you.
Good to see you.
I wanted to thank you personally for getting us out of there. And for helping Rufus come to terms with himself. He may come off a little gruff, but once you get past that, he's a lovely fellow.
What are you doing these days?
I'm studying to be an architect again, and living with Rufus in our beautiful flat in Rotterdam. Just down the river from Nijmegen, where I grew up. Of course, it's improved immensely since I was there last. Gleaming futuristic buildings and clean streets full of educated, accepting people. You natives of the 21st century have no idea how fortunate you are.
It was good to see you.
You too. As Rufus said in his own laconic way, if you're ever in the Netherlands, we'd love to show you around. It's the least we could do.
I might just take you up on that.
Hi. It's nice to finally put a face to the name.
It's so weird to talk to these people. I've talked to these people so many times.
I understand I have you to thank for sending Galerius to save my life. The way you just showed up out of the blue and stopped me from making a terrible mistake. I'll be forever in your debt.
Don't mention it. What are you doing these days?
I'm living with Gabriella in Umbria. We finally bought the little vineyard we always dreamed of.
Yeah, the fact that they don't remember talking to me is like the biggest part of it, I feel.
Every day I look at her and this extraordinary new world with all its beauty, and I think, what if I'd given up hope and missed out on all of this? So we're living each day to the fullest. And we end them all the same way, sitting together on our terrace with a glass of our wine, which the locals
They're all
say is
just
almost
rich.
drinkable now, and watching the sunset.
This is like not relatable.
And I couldn't be happier.
I think so too, Hakoon. I'm glad you're happy.
Thank you. I wouldn't be here without you.
Which the locals say is almost drinkable now, yeah. It was good to see you.
You too.
Where's the bow? Can I break the golden rule?
There you are. I hope you enjoyed that.
Yeah, that was lovely.
Now, there's one more person I wanted to introduce you to. I think you know her.
Who?
Sorry if I frightened you. Just a little joke I've been saving for a long, long time.
I recognize that voice.
Allow me to introduce myself properly. I am Proserpina, former goddess of the cycle of life and renewal.
Former goddess.
And now, a regular mortal. I wanted to meet you in person, and thank you for freeing all these people, and me. I hate to think what would have happened to us without your intervention.
Yeah, she must have left them all with millions. You were whispering to me all along.
Indeed. Suffice it to say that while Pluto was controlling the eyes and ears of each golden statue, I was able to control their tongues and whisper to you when he was distracted. I am sorry my messages were so cryptic. There were only ever brief windows in which I could speak to you without being detected.
You did what you could. Thank you. You created the time loop.
I did. I may have given up my immortality, but I still retain my gifts as the goddess of the cycle of life and renewal.
Interesting.
After witnessing Pluto punish countless poor souls over thousands of years, I knew this generation, the final wave, would not survive. So I tried to give them a way to buy more time. A second chance. Rather, as many second chances as they needed to avoid his wrath.
What became of Pluto?
I don't know what happened to him. I haven't heard from him, and I rather hope it stays that way.
What became of Karen?
Oh, she inherited dominion over the underworld. Last time we spoke, she was working on a new world of some kind. She wouldn't say what it was, but I'd be surprised if you don't run into her again. I imagine we all will, one day.
Okay. It was nice meeting
And
you.
Although it feels like I've known you forever. Oh, and one last thing. Do you remember all those golden statues scattered throughout the city?
Mm-hmm. Of course.
Good. Because they remember you. Well done, my friend.
Whoa.
Of all the heroes who ever journeyed to the underworld and returned, none came close to achieving what you did. Hercules, Orpheus...
Is that a duck?
Theseus,
Was there a
Nimbus,
golden duck in this game? Do I need to go back and find the duck now? Ending 4 of 4. Wow, okay. Yeah, apparently those were the statues. I started playing Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, and one of the options is Village Idiot with the archetype Thick and Clown Blood and Witty. Oh my god. Amazing. Good game. Do we try for the last one really quick? Oh, this is kind of cool. A little linky do. That's okay. I don't need any of that. Thank you, though. All right. 1, 2, and 4. I don't know how to get 3, though. I think I'm just going to try and do the text that Galerius had. Which I think means I'm gonna need to restart the loop for starters. That, or I could just go and see if I can't find Galerius. This specific zip line, maybe it wants you to do it from here. You have to like hit it right at the connection point. That's so cool that all the statues came back as well.
Thank you, Galerius. You're a good man. And I'll be sure to leave Virgil alone. I know I haven't been at my best lately.
Alright.
Appreciate that. Now, I've got to run.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Had to restart the loop somehow, you know? Best possible. Wait, I can't turn him to gold? Bummer. Okay. Here's what I think. If you get ending 1 again, oh my god. The golden rule is going to be broken soon. I need you to quiet get everyone except Sentius ready to run into the upper cistern when the ground starts to rumble.
What? That's a big ask, but I doubt I'll be able to gather more than a handful of people.
This has got to be it, right? I wonder if I'm meant to grab other people too? Or like tell other people to do that as well? Like I could try to tell... the priestess if I knew where she was. Save some peeps? Yeah, you know?
Hello there. Hey, what did I...
Maybe not.
Don't you just love springtime?
Where's the priestess, dude? Whatever. Let's just do it. Let's just do it. Let's just do it, because I mean I assume that this is the last remaining option, but I guess I don't actually know that for sure. We're gonna let it load. And then we're gonna unlock it. Whee! Hello. I'm Nico, nobody sent me. I know, we've had this conversation before.
What? God, am I going out of my...
I've told Galerius to lead everyone here when the golden rule is broken so they can escape too.
How did you know? Wait, did you hear that? He's here. He must be coming in through the door behind me.
Yeah, we're gonna fuck him up.
Stay right here and keep him talking while I look for something I can use.
Hey, buddy. Hi.
What did you do with Scintilla? Where is she?
As if I'd tell you.
So that is how it's going to be. Oh well, this doesn't change anything for me.
Mm-hmm.
It's a shame, really. If you'd just done what you were supposed to, you'd have been looping through time forever until you gave up and killed yourself. Just like that soft-hearted pleb, Al.
Not Al. You remember Al?
Now, Surely you didn't think you were the only one here who remembered everything.
Honestly, I thought this before. I really kind of did.
My connection to the portal somehow preserves my memories from one door to the next. Whether that was Proserpina's intention or a happy accident, I'll never know. But I'm surprised you hadn't noticed. Here I was thinking you were a little bit sharper than
See, what I'm curious about, and I would love to hear more from, is like, how does Proserpina feel about Cynthius?
He was a moralistic.
I guess she left him in gold,
never
so
once compromised on his principles.
maybe that answers
And
that.
because of that fatal flaw, he relived this day many thousands of times before we finally had this conversation. I watched him come through the portal each time, always a little older, a little more disheveled, a little more haunted. And when he finally saw the futility of it all, as you're about to, it broke him. He drank a jug of wine, tied a noose. The next time I awoke, you showed up. But you've caught up to where he was so quickly. I'd have preferred if you'd given me more time to almost 15. I should be grateful for your stupidity.
Whoa, rude as fuck. We've already been here, bud.
The path that Al took, the path he wrote about on his tablet. What was it? Ah, yes. Better to end it all now than find out what awaits you beyond that portal. So, you discovered my secret. So what? What are you going to do?
She just appears back there. She kills me. You're going to die a painful death for this. I already talked to you about these other things.
With that flimsy little bird.
Yeah.
Who? Scintilla? Where is she?
I'm right here, Father.
Okay, so we're gonna go back and we're gonna talk to Al, and there's gonna be a tablet.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Come on, we have to go. The other should be right behind us.
Yeah, so we're gonna go say hi to Al. It's gonna be a whole thing.
What's
It's fine.
happening to you? That light, it's so bright.
This has to be the third ending. At least I hope it is. Hopefully this isn't just like a variation of the first ending.
Hi there. Gave me a bit of a fray. Thought I was in here alone. I'm Al.
Hi, Al.
Well, here I am. I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name.
I'm Nico.
Really? That's strange. I was just reading an old tablet I found here. Well, trying. My Latin is kind of rusty, but the last entry mentioned someone with the same name. It described an event about 2,000 years ago. Someone with your name appeared in the city out of the shrine of Proserpina. Freed an imprisoned woman named Scintilla, who then murdered her captor, breaking some kind of ancient law. It said the attack caused golden statues to come alive, hunting down everyone in the city and turning them into gold. Apparently, Scintilla and a handful of other citizens managed to escape, while the stranger disappeared in a flash of light.
Actually, that was me.
What? You're saying
what?
you were here 2,000 years ago. I'm not sure I understand.
What?
I'm sorry. Let me see that. God, why does this writing look so familiar? I've
'Cause it's
spent a lifetime in
yours.
this place going around and around in circles.
Also, there's no way that he would recognize the way he
disturbing.
carves into a stone.
I don't understand how I
unless
could have
he
written
carves into stone all the time. I'm just gonna say it. It was written by a different version of you.
I'm not following.
I helped Scintilla kill the man who opened a time portal and drew you back in time, preventing it from ever happening.
So you're saying, because a man from 2,000 years ago is dead, he never
Kids these
created a
days.
time portal, so I never went through it, and that's why I don't remember any of this.
Now you're getting
I guess you saved my life then, as well as helping a bunch of others to escape. That's a lot to take in.
I'm a bit of a hero, it's fine.
Maybe we can escape through the same aqueduct Scintilla used, if we can find it.
It's right here. Come on, Al. The game really won't let you mess this up. I can't take out my bow. I'm like, what if I just shoot Al? Oh wait, I don't have my bow. Duh. never mind.
I'm gonna pause here for a moment and make sure nobody else has ever lured into this temple.
Good idea.
You go on ahead, and I'll be there soon.
Okay. Whee! It's rude that you're at the end of the game and it won't let you take a bow, right? It's also rude that there weren't any bows in the museum, or at least not that I saw.
You're back! But you're alone. Does that mean you didn't find Al?
Oh, I found him.
Oh, what a relief. Thank you so much. I was beginning to think you'd both become trapped in there. Why don't you tell me what you discovered while we wait?
So, okay, hold on. Here's my biggest question. Why did she send us in to try and have us come back out? Or was all of that a lie and she's continuing the lie?
Really? Sounds amazing. And did you... Oh, look! Here he comes. Al! It's so good to see you. You were gone so long I thought I'd never see you again.
But then why was she saying, like, I want you to come back out? Is she just lying right now?
The ruins of a long-forgotten city. And there was a tablet describing an event 2,000 years ago. Supposedly, the city was destroyed when a woman murdered a tyrant with the help of, well, my new friend here. I know how crazy that sounds.
Maybe not that crazy. That woman. I don't suppose her name was... Scintilla?
How could you... What?
She left a tablet of her own. I stumbled across it while I was waiting here.
Cool.
I think she meant for you to read it. Here, take a look.
Yeah, maybe because we're the last ones. That's true.
I don't know what became of you, or if you'll ever read this, but Octavia, Lucretia, Horatius, Equitia, and I will never forget you, or what you did for us. It pains us that so many of our dear friends were not so fortunate, including Ulpius and Galerius, who heroically tried to rescue Dooley, but never made it back.
Damn.
But there is no point dwelling on what might have been. All we can do is take this gift you've given us and try to show others the same compassion you showed us. We promise you that saving our lives was not for nothing. Scintilla et al.
Sounds like you meant a lot to her. I'd love to hear your story, but first, you two look exhausted. Why don't you hop in my boat and rest while I ferry you back to civilization?
Sounds good to me.
And you? Are you ready to go home?
Ferry us home. Ending 3 of 4. We've only gone and done it. What a fun game. What a fun game. GG's, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Cool concept. Fourth ending, obviously the coolest. It'd be super fun to try to make a game like this. I don't think that my brain could wrap my head around making a game like this. But they are very cool. Yeah, like even working on my ROM hack, my brain is just like, and what am I doing? And where am I going? And how do I do this and that? I don't know. I feel like our item from this has to be the bronze pocket watch that Dooley grabbed and forced you into the loop. I like that idea. I'll have to go back and find it in the recording or in the VOD. Because at one point I like look at it. Which would be like the perfect moment to pull it for image referencing. That's a cool game. I want to look at the achievements. View my achievements. Reach ending 3 of 4. Let's look at global. Loop time once. Done. Get rejected by Aurelia. This is like guaranteed if you talk to her. Save Fabia's life. Save Yulia's life. Guild your first thing. Survive the palace. Discover what lies. Dun 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 dun. Save Ulpius. Solve Virgil's problem. Oh, we never picked up the sponge on a stick. Enter the upper cistern in an unconventional way. Oh, right. We could have... There's a spot where you can turn it to gold and then you can climb up into it. But the order in which I found stuff, I forgot to go back and do it. And at the time I found it, I didn't know what it was. Oh, there was also a chest that we never went and got. There's a chest in the lake in like the main little water area that we never went and grabbed. Not the photographer not using photo mode. I rarely use photo mode in games. 2 of 4. We also never helped Galerius romance Aquisha. Oh my god, steal 2,000 coins after the golden rule is broken is hilarious. Read 10 different graffiti. Bummer. Dodge 3 boulders.